I would say good morning because I'm eating breakfast, but it's like 1 p.m. I'm honestly like a bit jet lagged from like a 1 hour time difference. Now imagine if I traveled to another country. I just had the weirdest sleep last night. Like I woke up at 7 in the morning, which would have been 6 in the morning in my brain. And then I was just like having so many anxious thoughts. I was awake for like an hour from like 7 to 8, and then at 8 I finally fell back asleep, and then I woke up at 9:20 and I was like, great, I'm gonna close my eyes for 5 minutes. I closed my eyes for 5 minutes. I woke up and it was 10:20 and I was like, what the heck? How did that happen? So then I'm back staying at my family's house, so I took advantage of the shower in there, took a shower, feeling much better. And then by the time I kind of organized in here, it's like already 1 p.m. and I don't even have that much of an appetite since yesterday. Maybe it's just been like the traveling and the anxiety, but I just don't feel very hungry. I don't know what it is about being back in the city, but my anxiety has been so bad since getting back. Like, I don't know what it is, but like the people here don't shoulder check, and I have to drive so defensively and like really pay attention because my whole house is in here, you know? I cannot afford to get into an accident and to have things in here get damaged, you know? And so it's just getting really like scary to drive here and like nerve-wracking, especially because people don't like driving around my van, so I have to be super cautious and careful. I don't know, it was kind of like a mixture of like anxiousness and excitement because I was really just anxious to see my family again after 3 months away. And especially like my pets, my dog and my cat, just wondering how they're doing, especially my cat who isn't doing so well. When I left him, he had just been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. So when I left him, he was losing a little bit of weight, but he was still at a, like, he still looked normal. Like, he was losing weight, but you couldn't really tell just by looking at him. And I was really anxious and nervous to leave him, which I talk about in my video. It's called Van Life Won't Fix Your Problems. Being away from him those first 2 weeks was so hard because I was putting so much effort into taking care of him, and I had to give my trust over to my family member to take care of him while I was gone. And just not knowing how exactly he was doing while I was gone was just really hard. And it was just a lot last night. It was just a lot last night to come back and see him and see my dog and see my family. I will just say, like, the amount that he has changed in 3 months since I left is heartbreaking, and I don't know why, but basically he lost a ton of weight. Like, you can see the outlines of his bones in his legs, and his fur is all greasy, covered in dandruff on his back, and his fur is coming out in clumps. And I was just so anxious about this morning when I woke up at 7. I was like, why is his fur coming out in clumps? Because it wasn't doing that when I left. And it comes back to proper nutrition, and then I come back and find out that he hasn't even been eating his proper kidney support food. So it's just a really frustrating situation, and I hope that now that I'm back, I can ease him back into his cycle of me taking care of him. Another thing that was sad yesterday is I said goodbye to my partner. Now that we're back in Alberta, he's off doing his own thing, and I'm here living in my van alone again. And I know just like in the beginning of our Vancouver Island trip, it was a transition period. I would say within the first 2 weeks, it took me 2 weeks to get used to sharing this small space with someone 24/7. But then the brain adapts and you get used to it. And now that he's gone, it was really sad because it's just hard to go from spending 24 hours a day with somebody to them no longer being here. I know that this is just another transition period and within a week or two I'll be fine, and yeah. So for my first errand, I went to the library. I picked up this sci-fi book to read after I'm finished my current sci-fi book. I love sci-fi. And now what I'm doing is picking up this mysterious package. This was dropped off at the front door yesterday. It's like a missed delivery notice, and I have absolutely no idea what this is because everything that I ordered I already received, so I'm so confused. I guess I'm just gonna go see what it is. I have no other choice. Okay, that was quite anticlimactic. It was literally just like a single piece of mail from my insurance that covers my Dupixent. So I don't know why they couldn't just put it in the regular mail. I don't know why it had to be delivered to the front door, but whatever. I also went into the grocery store, got a few things, and now I actually have to go to the drugstore to actually pick up my Dupixent prescription because I'm due for it in a few days. I've only done about half of my errands and I don't feel like I've been just laying in bed for the past half hour. I just don't feel like doing the rest of my errands. I don't feel like driving anymore. So I'm just gonna head back to my sleeping spot and just like chill for the rest of the night. I feel so tired. Like driving in the city is exhausting. Anyway, yesterday I impulsively bought this pineapple, so I'm gonna cut it open and see if it's healthy inside. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Back in my young 20s, I used to actually work at a grocery store, and I would wake up at 5 in the morning and I would basically prepare fruits and vegetables like this and put them in little to-go containers. That way customers could just come in and buy produce that has already been chopped up. I have a lot of experience with chopping up pineapple, and I also have experience with how to choose a perfectly ripe pineapple. Yum!
Hi, buddy. You ready to go for a walk? You wanna go walk? Let's go. Let's go walk.
I was wondering if I should film myself doing my dishes because I'm like, how is it a van life video if I'm not doing my dishes in my van? And then I'm like, you know what, screw it. This is my van life journey, okay? And it's pretty inconvenient right now because my van doesn't yet have running water. The running water system was one of the last things that I built in my van. And by that point, when I built it, it was like -30 outside. So I never got the chance to test it. And now the temperatures are still below 0, so I can't have running water in there because it's just going to freeze if my van dips below 0. So every time I want to do my dishes, I have to use like a little spray bottle, and it takes twice or 3 times as long, and I just dread doing it. So then I'm like, why not just bring my dishes into the house and do them in the house, and it'll be so quick and easy. And it literally took me like 7 minutes to do my dishes. If you're at all curious, this is how I've been staying warm every single night in my van. I have a little handy heater which connects to an extension cord that leads out of my window. This was my entire heating setup, my entire Vancouver Island trip, and why I needed to be at campsites only was because I needed to plug in this guy. Did use my diesel heater like the first few days of the trip. Basically, the exhaust pipe that I used is just a really bad quality, so because of the cold and the constant driving, it just cracked. On top of that, it's giving me error messages. I cannot even tell you how many times I have, not me, my partner, okay, has taken apart this heater, replaced a part, put it back together. Like, by this point, it's literally a brand new heater. I think the one I have is just bad luck because when I lived in the truck camper, like, my diesel heater in the truck camper was like fine, and it was like a Chinese diesel heater, just like the one that I have now. But this one is like, oh, I've had it like, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and it is just such a problem child. There's always something wrong with it, and I'm just like, is it ever gonna end? Is it ever gonna end, or should I just invest in like a better quality diesel here from Europe? I live in such a cold climate, like, I need a reliable heater. Oh, and this thing is anything but reliable. I'm watching this movie tonight. It's called A Million Miles Away. It's about space, of course, or about this guy who wants to become an astronaut. It's a true story, actually. Anyway, I'll see if it's any good. But if this is the end of the video, thanks so much for watching. Bye. So I'm gonna have to look into the... Oh, what the hell's that? Oh.